Alright, hey guys, I'm CCG back in a video with this. Remember, guys, a compilation of the Maliss combos and deck profile that I previously showed on the channel, and wanted to put it all together in one video for you guys for crossover breakers. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna get started here with the first combo. So we're gonna get started here with the one card combo using the arguably best Maliss card, Maliss Dormouse. So we're gonna normal summon our Maliss Dormouse, activate its effect here in order to put the White Rabbit into the banish zone. Then we're gonna activate White Rabbit's effect here, special summon it out. Get ourselves a TB11 trap, activate TB11 in order to banish our Dormouse, and get ourselves a Cheshire Cat. That'll give us the ability to activate Dormouse's effects, push summon it back out. Now we can link away and go into Splash Mage, activate Splash Mage's effect in order to bring back our Dormouse. Now we can link away, go into Link Decoder, then link away once again and go into our Transcode Talker. Link Decoder's effect will go off, we can get it back onto the board, and link away once again into Yugioh and Crystal Heart. Then we can activate its effect in order to get ourselves the Transcode Talker. Activate Transcode Stalker's effect, get ourselves a Splash Mage. Then we can link away and go into the Maliss Red Ransom. Activate Maliss Red Ransom's effect, get ourselves the Field Spell. And now we can link away into Maliss White Binder. So White Binder here is a very powerful Maliss card. If this card is special summon, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyard and banish them. So this is great if you need to target things in your opponent's grave. But also, obviously, it's great for targeting your own Maliss monsters, banish them, and activate their effects. And then during your main phase, you can set 1 Maliss trap from your deck or grave. And if this card is banished, you can pay 900 life points, special summon it, and then draw an extra card. It just provides a lot of value. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to manage 3 things here. Activate their effects, get ourselves our Maliss Red Ransom, and get ourselves a Dotscaper. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card, so you can just use it as an extender. Then we can link away and go into our Firewall Dragon. Activate Firewall Dragon's effect in order to add back our 2 Maliss cards back into your hand based on the arrows here. Activate the effect of Cheshire Cat. Banish a Maliss monster in order to draw 2 cards. Which is a nice little added benefit. Now we did get ourselves the Maliss GWC06 trap card. And of course we're going to link away into our Maliss Heart Scripter. Activate Firewall Dragon's effect in order to get ourselves the White Rabbit. Activate our Field Spell here. Banish ourselves the White Binder and special summon it back onto the board. Now we can activate Heart Crypter's effect in order to shuffle a card back into our deck. But not only that, then we're going to banish our Maliss Heart Scripter with its own effect. And that's great because now we can special summon it back out. So now we can link away and go into the Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid Neo Tempest Terahertz. So we can use Terahertz's effect in order to banish our Cyber's Disave Worm, which will give it another attack, but also give it an attack boost. And the nice thing about getting rid of the Disave Worm here is that when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or effect, while you control a level 4 or higher Cyber's monster, quick effecting banish this card from your field or grave and negate the activation. Now we can use the effect of GWC in order to get ourselves the White Binder and gain ourselves some life points. Then we can banish our 3 Maliss monsters, and then from there we can activate their effects in order to get them onto the board. So that is the nice thing about the trap card, is that we're going to get some life points back, so it's not going to be as bad. Now we can activate the effect of White Rabbit in order to get ourselves our trap, and then we can activate Red Ransom here in order to get another copy of the Field Spell. So here we have our Maliss MTP07. This will give us the ability here to add 1 Maliss monster from your deck to your hand, and then banish a card on the field. So it gives us plenty of interactions, and it's a pretty powerful board that we just end off here. And you can see we started with 1 card, and now we have this entire established board and 4 cards in our hand. But let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the second combo that I have for you is just using Maliss White Rabbit. So we're going to normal summon our White Rabbit here, activate its effect in order to get ourselves the trap TB11. Then we can activate TB11's effect here in order to banish the White Rabbit and get ourselves the Dormouse. Then of course, because White Rabbit is banished, we can use the effect here, special summon it back onto the board, go into the Splash Mage, bring back out the White Rabbit, link away, go into the Red Ransom, activate Red Ransom's effect in order to get the Field Spell. And then we can pitch our Dormouse into our banished zone, activate its effect, bring it out, activate its effect once again, and now we can put Cheshire Cat into the banished zone once again, and then special summon it out onto the board. Now we can go into our Cyber's Wicked and go into our Link Decoder. We can then use Cyber's Wicked's effect, banish 1 Cyber's monster from your graveyard and add 1 Cyber's Tuner from your deck to your hand, so we can get ourselves the Mathmix Sigma as an extender. Then we can get ourselves a Red Ransom, then we use Dotscaper, get it back onto the board. Go into our Transcode Talker and use the effect of Link Decoder to get it back on the board. Now we can get ourselves the Splash Mage, link away, go into Firewall Dragon, then go into our Protect Code Talker, use the effect of Firewall Dragon to get ourselves the Math Mech Sigma, link away and go into the Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid Neo Tempest Terahertz. And then the same thing as before here, we can just get ourselves the D-Save Worm into the grave and make sure that we can use that later on as a negate. And now we can get ourselves the Protect Code Talker back onto the board. And of course we can also get ourselves the Red Ransom since it was banished. And pitch ourselves the White Rabbit, then get White Rabbit onto the board here after we search the field spell. Of course, use White Rabbit's effect in order to get ourselves the MTP07, which, as I said before, you can banish one face-up Maliss monster you control and add one Maliss monster from your deck to your hand. And if you control a Maliss Link monster, which you do in Red Ransom, you are then able to banish a card on the field. And then we can pitch once again before our opponent's turn ended. Obviously, you'd want to be creating disruptions, but if you don't, if you just go through your opponent's turn, you set it up, disrupt them, you can use Neo Tempest Terahertz effect here, and then pitch the Chessy Cat. And yeah, that's going to be our final board. It's pretty powerful as we have our Terahertz Dragon here that is pretty difficult for your opponent to deal with, just because it does negate any monster effects activated by your opponent during the battle phase. It gets really beefy as well. And then we have Fireball Dragon here that once while face up on the field, you can target monsters in the field and or graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card and return them to the hand. So of course we are connected to Protect Code Talker and the Neo Tempest Terahertz, so we can bounce the things on the board. And we have our Maliss MTP07 in order to banish something, and the D-Save Worm in the grave as well, which is going to be annoying for your opponent to have to deal with. But besides that, let's go to the third combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so third combo that I have for you is using Dormouse, and this is Dotscaper. You don't want to be drawing this, but we're just going to show you how you can play through the brick. Because Dotscaper is normally an extender, and because you do have it in your hand, that is going to suck quite a bit. But we're going to do like similar lines as the first combo here. Go into the White Rabbit, but then this time we're going to go into our Haggard Lizardos. Activate its effect here. We can banish ourselves the Dormouse, activate Dormouse's effect, get it back onto the board. Link away, go into Red Ransom, activate Red Ransom's effect, get ourselves the field spell, then banish it using the TB11, get ourselves the Chessy Cat. Then we can banish our Chessy Cat once again, get it onto the board. Link away into our Link Decoder, and you want to use the one that has its effects negated, because then you want to use the Chessy Cat that is left over in order to discard a Malice card in order to draw 2 cards. Get the Link Decoder out, go into the Splash Mage, activate Splash Mage's effect, get ourselves the Chessy Cat, link away into the White Binder, banish our 2 cards here in the grave. One's going to be the Red Ransom that's going to be able to get out, and the TB11. Then we can get ourselves the Maliss GWC06 trap here. Put the field spot back into the deck. Banish our White Binder, get it back onto the board. Then we can go into our Firewall Dragon. And now we can use GWC as effect here in order to get ourselves the White Binder. And of course use White Binder's effect. Once again, just banish a bunch of Maliss monsters and get them onto the board. So we're going to get White Rabbit back onto the board here, use Red Ransom's effect in order to search out another spell. You can see our hand is being filled up pretty heavily here. And of course we still have the MTP07, just as we covered before. You can banish something on the board. We have our Maliss Heart Scripter here. That quick effect, you can target one of your banished Maliss cards, shuffle into the deck, and if you do, banish 1 card on the board, which is very annoying for your opponent to have to deal with. We do have the Firewall Dragon here because it is co-linked with the Maliss White Binder. We're going to be able to bounce 1 card. And we have the White Rabbit that is giving protection to our White Binder here, as you take no damage from battles involving Maliss Link monsters. And Maliss Red Ransom, while it's on the field, while this card points to a monster, the original attack and defense of all fact monsters your opponent controls are switched, which is going to be surprisingly pretty disruptive and annoying for your opponent to have to deal with. And of course we drew a bunch of cards out of this. It's still pretty insane combo, and we still played through Dotscaper. Obviously it's not ideal, but it shows that the deck's pretty flexible and you can still play through a brick. But let's go to the final combos that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the final combo that I have for you is using Dimension Shifter and Maliss P Dormouse. So this deck is pretty, as you can see, they like their cards being banished. So they don't mind cards like Dimension Shifter or even the Bistio monsters if you want to run that in your own deck, which you're going to see in the deck profile in the next video. But besides that, we're going to activate Dimension Shifter. It's going to be pretty annoying for your opponent to have to deal with this. Then we're going to go into Dormouse, activate the effect of White Rabbit, go into the TB11. So similar lines as you've seen before. Go into the Chessy Cat. Then link away, go into the Heart Scripter. Go into the Chess Our Cat. Then we can go into our SP Little Knight. use SP Little Knight's effect here. So if your opponent has already kind of established something, you can use this to banish whatever they have on the board, because you would be able to activate Dimension Shifter during your opponent's turn, and that'd be pretty annoying for them to have to play with, but then for you to play through it isn't going to be too difficult. And yeah, we get ourselves the Maliss Heart Scripter. Obviously it's not a crazy board here, but you can target one of your banished Mallet cards, shuffle into the deck, and if you do, you banish a card in the field. And it's very annoying for a deck that isn't designed around Dimension Shifter to really excel in it. So playing this card can be pretty annoying, and this is all the board you really need. A Maliss deck profile, and this is post crossover breakers. If you guys want to see the combos, it's going to be in the top right corner. But we're going to get started here with 2 copies of Chessy Cat. So you're going to see here with the Maliss monsters, are able, when they're banished, they're able to get themselves out, and then they have an effect, a bonus effect after that, and they have an effect while they're on the board. So for instance, Maliss Chessy Cat here, any monster destroyed by battle with a Maliss Link monster that points to this card is banished. And then during your main phase, you can banish 1 Maliss card from your hand and draw 2 cards. And if this card is banished, you pay 300, get it out. So you're going to see that pattern with these cards as well. But we're going to run 2 copies of Chessy Cats, because it's not really an extender. It does get you 2 draws, which is nice, but you really want it just for the name, and getting those draws is good when you get it. But besides that, it's not like the most ideal card to start out with. But we do have 3 copies of Maliss White Rabbit. This card's pretty insane, because when it is normal or special summon, you can set 1 Maliss Trap from your deck, and usually the one you want to go for, depending on where you start, it's TB11 just to extend your combos. But then we have 3 copies of Dormouse, which is arguably the better Maliss monster here, because it'll allow you to banish a Maliss monster from your deck, which usually is going to be White Rabbit, because then you can go to White Rabbit and activate its effect here in order to set whatever trap you may need. But besides that, the deck doesn't really need anything else. So you can just run a bunch of hand traps, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're running 3 copies of Nibiru. We're running 3 copies of Bestial Druid Worm, because you know, you do have cards that actually like being banished, so you can just banish your own Maliss monsters, get them out. Same thing with Dimension Shifter. It's very annoying for your opponent to have to deal with, but for you, it's not a problem. Then we have Code of Soul here. That's an amazing extender, while also giving you the ability to link summon during your opponent's turn. Then we have Mathmech Sigma that is actually searchable, and again, another extender for the deck. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because it is a powerful hand trap. 1 copy of Dotscaper, again another extender. If it's banished, you can special summon it onto the board. Then we have 3 copies of Effect Veiler, again standard hand traps. 3 copies of Signet Minding. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and add 1 level 4 lower Cypress monster from your deck to your hand. So you can see you really want to search into your Maliss monsters in case you don't get them. This is a great way to get them out. Terraforming for the field spell. Then we have 3 copies of Malice and Underground. When this card is activated, you can banish 1 Malice card from your hand, deck, or grave. So from there, you can just use it to go into a 1-card combo, as you can just go into one of your Maliss Dormouse or White Rabbit, and then extend from there. Then we have 1 copy of Malice GWC06. As you can activate this card, the turn it was set by banishing 1 face of Malice monster you control. You're going to see that with your Malice traps, is that you can actually activate them their turn they're set, and that's important for extending your plays. But if you can special summon 1 of your Malice monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, then if you control a Malice Link monster, you can gain life points equal to the original attack of that special summon monster. So you're going to be losing a lot of life points to your Malice monster's effects, and this is a great way of getting it back. With Malice TB11 here, you can special summon 1 Malice monster from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon 1 Malice Link monster from your extra deck instead. So again, another extender for the deck. MTP07 lets you search something out. Not only that, but you're actually going to be able to banish a card in the field, which is pretty great, and you're going to see a lot of the combos here. If you guys saw the combos video, you want to go into your White Rabbit just to search this out during your opponent's turn, and then just banish the White Rabbit or banish something on the board, and 3 copies of Imperm, because Imperm is just a great hand trap. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a patron. For just $5 a month, you can help support the channel and influence the type of content I create. But besides that, we're going to get started here with Cyber's Desave Worm. So this is usually just going to be a card that you want to pitch here using our Neo Tempest Terahertz. As you can pitch it, and then when your opponent activates a spell trap card or effect where you control a Link 4 or higher Cyber's monster, you can banish this card from your field or grave and negate the activation. So it's just an Omni Negate that you just have in the grave that you get through the Neo Tempest Terahertz. Speaking of which, this is going to be one of your best beaters. It can just get pretty beefy, and it'll negate effects during the battle phase, which isn't super relevant, but sometimes it can be, and that's great. Firewall Dragon is great for just extending your plays, but also for bouncing some things back onto the hand. And then we have the Maliss Hard Scripter that can be a form of disruption, and it can also get pretty beefy. And because of our field spell here, that forces your opponent to attack into your Maliss Link monsters. This can be pretty difficult for your opponent to have to deal with. Then we have Transcode Talker here. While this card is co-linked, then it is co-linked monsters gain 500 attack. Also, your opponent cannot target any of them with card effects, so that can be pretty annoying, but normally you're just going to be using this to target a Link 3 or lower Cyber's Link monster in your graveyard and special summon into a zone this card points to. Then we have Maliss Red Ransom here. While this card points to a monster, the original attack and defense of all of your opponent's effect monsters, they switch, so it's going to be pretty annoying for your opponent to have to deal with that, but when a special summon, you can add one Maliss spell card from your deck to your hand, and currently that is just a field spell. Then we have White Binder here, which is a very flexible card for the extra deck here and for Maliss. If this card is special summon, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyard and banish them. And that's usually just going to be your Maliss cards, but you can also use it to disrupt your opponent's plays. And then during your main phase, you can set 1 Maliss trap from your deck or grave. And if this card is banished, you can pay 900 life points, special summon it, and draw a card. Then we have SP Little Knight. It's SP Little Knight. Splash Mage here is an extender. We have our Haggard Lizardos in order to banish 1 monster face up on the field or grave with 2000 or less attack. Kind of an extender here, as you're going to be banishing your Maliss monsters that are in the grave. Then we have Cyber's Whiz Kid here. If a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to while you control this card, you can banish 1 Cyber's monster in your graveyard and add 1 Cyber's Tuner from your deck to your hand. Usually the target for this is just Mathmech Sigma, just to extend your plays again. Hippie Masquerena here, going to the SP Little Knight. G-Goal and Crystal Heart, as you've seen in the combos, is just going to be able to get your monsters back onto the board. Usually a target for that is Transcode Talker. We have our Link Spider here in case we get a neighborhood token that we want to use for any other plays. And then Link Decoder here, again, just to kind of replace itself, but also it can bring itself back into the board and then extend your Link plays. And in the side deck here, we have cards that I consider running. Access Code Talker, it just kind of fits the whole Cyber's theme, and it is an amazing beater, but decided not to run it, as I'd rather just have more consistent plays with these other Cyber's monsters. And the third, Chessy Cat, which I don't think is really that necessary because you don't really need it to start a combo, and it's just going to be a great way of just getting a few draws, which you're easily able to search out the other 2 copies. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.